Mary Sue is a character we all know and hate. Flat, emotionless, good at everything they do, incapable of fault or defeat, these characters cheerfully parade through many popular books, movies, and TV series, serving as a sort of idealized self of the author's fantasy, and making us groan in dread every time we see another one of these characters. Everyone agrees that Mary Sues are so overused and unlikable that writers should just stop making characters like this. But how do you know if you're writing a Mary Sue into your story? That's what we're going to explore in this video. The 7 signs that your character might be a Mary Sue or Gary Stu, and what to do to fix these problems so that we can root for your characters and fall in love with them. Before we get into this discussion, I first want to ask you to hit the subscribe button below this video. Not only does that help my content rise to the top, but it also makes sure that you never miss a new video, live training, or special event from me as we explore writing and publishing together and making your author dreams come true. Lots of fun stuff happens on this channel, and I want you to be here in the community for it. So hit the subscribe button below this video. It'll only take a sec. Click, 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 click. Now let's get into this discussion. Sign number 1 that your character is a Mary Sue. They have no flaws or weaknesses. This is the biggest glaring sign of a Mary Sue. A character who doesn't have any flaws or weaknesses. You look for one, but you can't find one no matter how hard you try. It's just not there. She's perfect. She's flawless. She has no faults. None. This character does everything right. They never make mistakes. They're never tempted by vices or weaknesses. They are, in essence, the embodiment of enlightenment. They do exactly what the plot needs them to do, and their entire personality can basically be summed up as save the world.
I want to serve. At least we're trying to do something that matters.
And I'm all the Jedi.
How do you fix this problem? Give your character flaws. Let them have weaknesses and misbeliefs that psychologically trip them up and make them struggle as they pursue their goal. Sign number 2 that your character may be a Mary Sue. They're naturally better than everyone at everything they do. It doesn't matter if somebody's been doing it longer than they have. Mary Sue can do it better than anyone. The first time she tries it. Doesn't matter if she's never done it before. She has a gift for everything.
I can do this. I can do this.
I just want to know how she does it. What's your trick?
I don't have a trick.
Nobody gets through it that fast. Why don't you tell us how you do it?
I don't see this as much with male characters as I do with female characters because, again, with the strong female character trope, which I ranted about hardcore in this video, you may have seen it, we have gotten into the habit of writing female characters who are naturally gifted at everything they do because it's somehow become perceived as like weakness and frailty to not just be automatically gifted at something. If somebody else is better at something than you are,
You are a weak person.
This is so toxic. I hate it. How to fix this? Let your characters struggle with some things, okay? Let her not be perfect at something the first time she tries it. It's okay. She can be crappy at something and then get better and actually have to like put in effort and time and blood, sweat, and tears to get better at a thing. I have more respect for a character who suffers to get better at a thing than a character who's just like, step aside, I'm going to do this better than anybody. True strength does not mean knowing 100% of everything 100% of the time. True strength actually means having humility, right? Not being too proud to ask for help when you need it, and not being too proud to admit that you're a beginner at something, and laughing at your mistakes, being okay with failure. It shows that your character is strong because they are willing to learn and grow. Number 3, they don't make active decisions, they just get pushed around by the plot. Mary Sues are typically very, very, very passive characters. Passive characters are like punching bags for the plot. They don't make active decisions based on their fear-based goals and misbeliefs. They just get shoved around by the plot. They don't change as a result of their journey because they never battled with a misbelief. See how important misbeliefs are now? See how important fatal flaws are? Because that's what makes your character change as a result of their journey. If they don't have a fatal flaw at the beginning, and they don't have any weaknesses, and they have no struggle to overcome, then they can't go on a transformative journey, and they can't leave us with an impact and a big idea to contemplate long after the story is finished. If they don't have a deep-seated desire and fear fueling their progress toward a goal, then life is just knocking them around. And they end up being a passive damsel in distress waiting for someone to come save them. How to fix this? Make your characters active by letting them make choices based on their fears and misbeliefs. Give them a deeply rooted flaw that guides their steps. Let them ultimately choose to change their beliefs when, after the course of their journey, they come to an aha moment and change as a result of everything they've been through. Number 4, glaring sign of a Mary Sue. They don't know how divinely attractive they are. You've seen it 100 times, right? The main character who gives a very long mirror description of themselves, followed by self-deprecating internal dialogue about how they're so unattractive and pale and sickly and skinny and nobody will ever find them attractive. Meanwhile, they have like an entire football team of guys chasing them down. So yes, absolutely give your characters insecurities. Insecurities make us human, but also give them something that they can be confident about, especially if they're like secretly really attractive and they just don't know it. Number 5, glaring sign of a Mary Sue. They don't practice what they preach. You know, the classic,
I could beat up everyone in this room right now without breaking a sweat or messing up my L'Oreal commercial hair.
but she never actually beats anyone up. She just like makes all these constant snarky comments about how badass she is without ever proving how badass she is.
Insult me again and you'll taste the tip of my blade.
Lower your sword.
Or what?
Again, this goes back to humility. Okay, nobody likes an arrogant, know-it-all character who is constantly bragging about their attributes or cutting others down for their faults and failings. Yes, arrogance can be a flaw. It can be a problem. It can be a negative trait that you give your character. But in the case of Mary Sue, a lot of times, her arrogance is seen as an attribute. And I genuinely do not know why. This is one of the things that makes characters extremely unlikable, when we only see this tough exterior. And you can have a tough character, don't get me wrong. You can have a character with a tough exterior, but if I never get to see their vulnerabilities, the things that they keep hidden deep inside, the things they don't want anyone to see, their trust issues, and the things that keep them behind emotional walls, that's the heart of your character. So if we never get to see that, we never get to see past this stone wall facade of toughness, then how am I ever gonna care about this character? How am I ever gonna relate to her humanity? She has none.
I know a rogue soldier when I see one. We got a personal stake in this.
How to fix this? Let your character practice what they preach, okay? If they say they are something, show me. Or better yet, don't even preach to me. Don't even tell me what they are. Just show me what they are. Don't even let her preach. Let her just practice. Number 6, sign of a Mary Sue. They have no likable charms, but everyone likes them. This applies to both male and female characters. I've seen it done with both a lot, and it is very annoying. With female characters, she is the dazzlingly gorgeous woman with the aesthetic of a fashion model and the personality of a compost bucket. She's probably grumpy and insulting to everyone she meets, but it doesn't matter because all the guys fall in love with her anyway.
I Edward.
If you ever touch her against her will again,
Don't do this
she's
here.
not
Don't-
sure what she wants.
Don't do this here.
This applies to Gary Stu as well. Okay, this applies to male characters, except with male characters, it's usually the dark, hot, broody guy who probably has a dark past, but we'll never know about the dark past because he doesn't need to talk about the dark past because he's just so impossibly handsome and attractive, even though all he does is treat the main character girl like dirt. But she loves him anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I hope you won't think too badly of me.
Think too badly of you? I don't think of you at all, Miss Abbie. I don't care what you think or how you feel.
I genuinely do not understand this obsession with characters who have absolutely no likable qualities, but everyone falls in love with them. And it almost makes you feel left out and stupid as the reader or the viewer. Like, you don't like this character? Why? Everyone else likes them. How to fix this? Give your characters, both male and female characters, positive and negative traits. Everyone has a mixture of these traits, okay? We're not all 100% good, we're not all 100% bad. Everybody has strengths and weaknesses. So show me what those strengths and weaknesses are and how this character uses them to get what they want. And if you're having trouble coming up with ideas for this, I would point you towards the Enneagram personality typing system. It is so helpful, especially with writing internal conflict. It's a great springboard to start from, and I made a video about it here. And finally, sign number 7, that your character might be a Mary Sue. They never admit when they make a mistake. Because guess what? They never make mistakes. This goes back to the arrogance thing and the victim complex. So actually you kind of have both at play. Mary Sues are basically narcissists. That's what I'm trying to say here. Whether it's a female character or male character, it's like this narcissistic trait of, I want to take credit for like when things go right. Yeah, I did that. That was great. But then when things go wrong, I will not take responsibility for that. That was someone else's fault. And again, this just makes a character very unlikable. It's hard to care about a character who is constantly casting blame on others and never taking responsibility for something that was their fault.
If anything happens to her, anything, it will be on your head. You would blame me. It is you that has ruined her.
Give it back. I know it was you.
Are you sure?
Where is it?
I'm sorry, this must be really embarrassing for you.
How to fix this? Let your characters make active decisions and let them make mistakes. And even if they don't admit to others when they're wrong, even if they're too ashamed and proud and arrogant to admit when they're wrong, that's okay. Those are valid flaws, to be selfish and proud and arrogant, but they should at least be able to recognize in their own internal dialogue that they messed up. And even if they cast the blame on somebody else, they should be active participants in what's happening. And if they have a positive character arc, then they should be taking responsibility to try to make things right. Okay, boom, that's it. The 7 signs that your character may be a Mary Sue or a Gary Stu and how to fix these problems. Hopefully you took some notes, and if any of these signs apply to your characters, look to the how to fix it and go fix it. It's really simple to fix. It's all you have to do is make your characters more active, more flawed, struggle with their weaknesses, pursue their misbelief-based goals, and ultimately change as a result of their journey. Comment below and tell me what is your favorite example of a Mary Sue that gets on your nerves. I'd like to hear about it in the comments. Join the discussion and make sure you smash that like button while you're down there and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, because I post writing videos every single Wednesday and I would love to have you here in the community. Also, be sure to check out my Patreon because that's where we go beyond videos and take storytelling to the next level. The Patreon community is not only the best way to support what I'm doing here on YouTube, but it's also the only way to get access to my private Discord server and access to other exclusive content like my monthly live trainings, diving deep into different aspects of writing and publishing. So much value over there on the Patreon. I hope you'll check it out. That's patreon.com/Abbie Emmons. Until next week, my friend, rock on.